Delegate Hugo is a Republican. He represents part of Fairfax County, where we'll be Friday for our roundtable. Prince William, and it's always good to have him with us. That is the 40th District, and he is number 3 in charge in the House super duper majority. Delegate Hugo, Mr. Chairman, good to have you with us.
John, thanks for letting me be with you this morning. And I'm grew up. Remember where you are now. I grew up in Virginia Beach, so it's good to be with you, my friend.
That's right, Tim Hugo grew up in Virginia Beach. His sister's still in the Southeast Virginia area, if memory serves me correct. Right?
You got it, my friend.
Your sister.
And thank you for dispensing common sense for the Commonwealth. We need that.
Well, it's really tough to do. Now we got a lot to get to in the short time that we have, Tim, and I want to start with a House where right now you've got 67 or 68 seats now.
We have 67 out of 100 right now.
Okay, you got 67. So you got a supermajority. Some people are telling me, look, you guys could win another net 1, 2, or 3 seats. I think you got a shot at that. Give us a little feel about some of the races that you feel you might pick up.
John, actually, we feel really good. You said it. I think Republicans. I grew up in the beach, and sometimes you ride the wave, and sometimes it grinds you into the surf. This might be the year we ride the wave a little bit. If we've got some great candidates, we have down your way. We have Laura Overy in Williamsburg. I think she's going to do a great job and win. Then we've got three or four seats up here in Northern Virginia, where everybody says the Democrats are winning everything. We're going to hold 2 seats we have open up here. Tom Russ seat with Danny Vargas. We're going to hold with Chung Nguyen. Going to take a seat. We're going to also take. I think Craig Pariseau is going to win Barbara Comstock's old House of Delegates seat, and then Colonel Dudenhoeffer, who was in the House before, is going to win. And we are pushing just what you said: 68, 69, maybe 70. And that's just incredible.
I think you got a shot. I want to go over these because I agree with you on all but one. I really think Overy in the Williamsburg, Newport News area has got a heck of a shot in this race. I think she's going to get a big turnout of her base. Really, Monty, I'm not sure the extent that he's worked. I know that Laura Overy has grown and matured as a candidate. From when I first met her to when I talked to her about a week ago, there was a tremendous learning curve that she demonstrated. She's not shy about asking for money. She's knocked on 5,000 doors personally.
Herself, exactly.
I think she's going to win that race. I do. I think you're going to pick that up. Former Delegate Dudenhoeffer, I think you win that. There's no question in my mind. He kind of got outworked in his last time he got beat. I don't think that happens to somebody twice, right? So
the Marine Colonel's not going to let that happen twice.
Yeah, I think he got a heck of a shot there. Now tell me about, I think you'll hold the Russ seat with Vargas, but tell us about the David Ramadan seat. I mean, you look at that thing. Obama gets 60% in there. I looked at that district. I never thought anybody would be able to win as a Republican except Ramadan. And the guy you're going up against, Bell. I mean, he's run 2 times. He's pretty savvy. I mean, how do you repeat the Ramadan magic there?
We've got an incredible candidate. I mean, that's really what it is. This guy's name is Chung Nguyen. He's Vietnamese. He truly is the American success story. His family, his mom and dad were persecuted in Vietnam. His dad was in a re-education camp. Finally got out, became boat people, if you remember that expression. They literally got on a boat crammed with hundreds of people, took his family out. They come to America. The mom and dad were leaders in Vietnam, end up cleaning bathrooms and toilets here. Their kids end up one goes to Harvard. Chung, who was our candidate running, went to Harvard, became a lawyer. He's the least educated of his family. The rest of his family are all medical doctors. Truly the American success story. This guy has quit his job, working full-time. Just incredible, like I said, incredible story. His wife's a plastic surgeon. Mm-hmm. It truly proves that if you work hard in America, you can succeed. This is what this guy's done. Chung is working hard. He's talking about the issues that are important. And I'm going to tell you something that's resonating up here, too. And I know y'all had it down in the beach area in Hampton Roads. The governor right now is trying to put a $17 toll on Interstate 66, just this little short bit inside the Beltway. Not going real well, John. What we've told the governor is, hey, $17 toll and not building 1 mile of road. It's $17 toll, and the money's going to pedestrian lanes and bike paths. We've told the governor, hey, buddy, let me be clear. Northern Virginia is not your personal ATM machine. I think Chung Nguyen's going to ride that issue, and so many others too. And with his personal story, going to have a big victory next Tuesday night.
Now, let's get to the one race that I don't think you're going to win is I don't think Pariseau is going to win that seat. I don't think you're going to beat, who is it, Murphy? Kathleen
Murphy.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to win that seat. But that's just me, right? I'm in the business of making predictions. I think it'll be close, but I don't think you guys are going to beat Murphy. But I want to get to these tolls, Delegate. A $17 toll on I-66. Let's first get to the politics of it. Why is Terry McAuliffe is savvy, isn't he? I mean, he's a very savvy political operative, no question. Why is he closing this campaign on guns and tolls? This makes no sense to me.
Well, I mean, like I said, think about it. That's what it's come down to. He is tied to the environmental community in many ways. And what they want is they are trying to drive people out of their cars into buses and bike paths. Let's say $17 toll, not 1 mile of road's going to be paved, but we have 60 bike paths and pedestrian paths, identified to be paved in Northern Virginia. It's ridiculous. I think he's just I don't think he thought people would pay attention. My understanding is he threatened a lot of the Democrats, said, you better not say anything about this, you better be on board. And he made a mistake. It is a huge wave up here, I think, on that issue. What we're hearing, it's kind of organic. People are talking to us about it. People are saying this is a bigger issue than the car tax was for Jim Gilmore 15 years ago, 20 years ago now. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying Craig Pariseau, he is neck and neck with her, literally, John, neck and neck. I think he's going to pull that thing over the line. It will be close. I'm betting. I'll bet you a burger down in Williamsburg somewhere, or a pork sandwich down in Williamsburg somewhere for Pariseau's going to win.
Well, that would be a hamburger that I would be happy to buy. So I will take that bet. Therefore, I win either way, right? No question. I just think Murphy is just she's a very savvy, tough campaigner. But I want to get back to this $17 toll. What is if you were to pick up the phone and get the governor on the phone and say, what is the deal here? What would he say? Why is a $17 toll on a stretch of I-66 that affects so many people so critical for the governor? What is he attempting to do with that?
I think he's really trying to squeeze people out of their cars. I think it really is a different mindset. Some of the environmental people that are his staff that are running this, and I think it's a mistake. And we told him early on, don't do it. We tried to give him a heads up, but now he's doubled down on it. So, it really is an in-kind political contribution to the Republicans. But, it won't matter unless people get out and vote. And that's what we've got to tell everybody. Please go vote, because it's in these elections, sometimes it's 25, 30% of the people vote. I think if our people get out and vote and say, we're done with taxes, we're tired of you looking at us as your personal ATM machine, whether it's in Hampton Roads or Northern Virginia or around the state, stop. And if our people get out and vote, we're going to have a good day next week.
Delegate Hugo, let's get back to this $17. Where does the money go? If the toll if it actually happens, where's the money go?
Literally, John, I wasn't exaggerating. It's going to go to bike paths. It's going to go to pedestrian paths. It'll go some to buses, but it's not going to go for anything to make it easier for people to commute in cars who are paying that $17. Not 1 mile will go to pave a 1 foot of asphalt on I-66. They are taking that money, it'll be about $10 million a year at least, and diverting it to bike paths. It is ridiculous. And that's why people up here are organically upset.
That's just insane. So that $17 I-66 for our listeners in Southwest Virginia and South Side that are not that familiar with that corridor, just share, Chairman Hugo, with our listeners who drives it and who would pay the $17 from where to where.
Well, if you're coming in from Southwest Virginia to visit Washington, D.C., and you're coming up 81 and going into 66, you could end up paying that toll. And what it's really going to do is when it all backs up, when people refuse to pay it, when they try to push all that traffic there, it creates a wall. I think it's going to make traffic worse on the side roads. And that's what people are upset about. This is a stupid plan. Everybody has told the governor it's a foolish plan and it's a mistake, but they are doubling down on it because I believe they're a little bit arrogant about this. They think they can do no wrong, and the people, it's not the politicians on this one, it's the people saying, what are you doing? John, you're a social media guy, too, in addition to the radio.
Sure.
People on Facebook, we're getting thousands of shares and comments across the state. You're lucky sometimes you get 5 or 6 comments on something you put up.
Right.
Thousands across Northern Virginia. It's crazy.
This is this I-66. So if I was just, people can deal with it. Okay, once every so often, I take 81, I go into D.C., I'm going to pay the toll, $17. It's like going to the Eastern Shore. You got to pay that $13 or whatever it is. I forget now. It keeps going up. But how about the people that are commuting into D.C. every day? What would that would be like the Winchester area, right?
It could be thousands. It could be
thousands
from
of
Winchester, from Loudon. Say you're coming in from Leesburg. You're going to pay a toll on the Greenway. You're going to pay a toll on the Dulles Toll Road. And now you're going to pay a toll on I-66. These people could be paying $30 or $40 a day.
Just to get to work.
$30 to $40 a day in tolls.
It's
can't
ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's the most
and we're going to tell the governor no, and we're going to tell him no next Tuesday.
So how does this go? I mean, if the governor proposes a toll like this, I mean, we saw what happened in Southeast Virginia here in Hampton Roads with the Midtown Tunnel debacle, where we have this toll and this deal that we can't get out of, that Chairman Hugo, the General Assembly, had no impact on. So to get this kind of a toll, what would McAuliffe have to do? Walk our audience through the process to get it approved. What would happen?
Right now, the governor has scheduled for December a meeting of the Commonwealth Transportation Board. This will be on the agenda. I am telling you, and I've talked to Ron Villanueva, who's from Virginia Beach, who's the chairman of the Transportation Committee, the speaker, and others. If the governor jams us through in December, we will have legislation. I will have legislation in January to overturn this. It wasn't fair when they were talking about in Hampton Roads tolling something a tunnel that you've already paid for.
Right.
This is even worse. This is tolling something that you've already paid for, and you're never going to build a mile of road with it. You're taking bike paths. So we're going to fight this, but the governor can do it on his own right now. That is correct. And that's why we need people to be aware of what's happening up here in Northern Virginia, because if it could happen here, it could happen in Hampton Roads, it could happen in Richmond, it could happen in Southwest, to all your listeners. And that's the point we're trying to make.
So, Senator, how would you just walk us through, how would you overturn it if Governor McAuliffe says, okay, I'm going forward, we're putting this $17 toll up on I-66, done deal, how would the General Assembly stop it?
We would have to put in legislation, pass the House and Senate. If the governor vetoed it, then we'd have to override it. I would think we would, it's hard to override a governor. I would think on this issue, we'd have a darn good shot because this is such an outrage. And also, John, it really does break a precedent. In the past, people have said sometimes they're okay with tolls if you're building a new road, if you're giving them extra capacity.
Right.
This is tolling something you've already paid for. It's like buying your house 3 times over. It doesn't make sense.
And you're tolling it not to get a better quality of life or ease traffic congestion or add a lane. You're tolling it to add bike paths. I mean, I'm all for bike paths, and I love to walk, but I don't feel like paying $17 for that each way to get to work. I mean, this is just outrageous. to do this. But in order to overturn his veto, I think you could probably muster 2/3 in the House, but then you'd have to get 2/3 in the Senate, which at best is going to be, in my judgment, 22-18 GOP. So you're going to have to pick up what? You're going to have to pick up, 8, 7 or 8.
Another 4 or 5. We'll do that. I think we can do that because it really is outrageous. I think people recognize this is ridiculous, and I think people around the state will recognize too. If he can do it to us, if he can do it to Northern Virginia, he can do it to everybody.
Okay, well,
I think it's the environmentalists, and I think the next spot to happen would be Hampton Roads. It would happen to Hampton Roads and Richmond next. It's suburban areas.
No question.
That would take the shot on that.
It's insane. I've got my quarterly roundtable at Chap Peterson World Headquarters on Friday with the Godfather, Chap Peterson, Scott Survell, Ben Tribbett, and David Marston, and special guest Tom Davis. And when I'm up there on Friday, that's the first question I'm going to ask is how they stand on this $17 I-66 toll. So be sure you tune us in for that. Their answer is going to be interesting, no doubt. We want to thank...
Well, you look, when you're up here, John, you look, there's signs all over Northern Virginia, no $17 tolls. Look at them, big red signs going up all over.
I will. I'm going to be up there. I'm going to drive up Thursday afternoon, so I'll be able to see that. I'm out of time. I want to thank House Caucus Chairman Tim Hugo for being with us. He's from the 40th District, and that is part of Fairfax and Prince William.